Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Today is Thursday, September 15th, and Thursday is associated with Jupiterian energy. And Jupiterian energy is amplifying the part of our lives that has to do with us as individuals. And of course, Jupiter is still in retrograde. So we're reflecting on our ability to be brave and our ability to be bold. And, that's that energy that gets stuff done, because we can have a lot of great ideas and have aspirations to do things, but we need that courage, we need that Aries energy where Jupiter is to just like jump and then ask questions later. So when it comes to say the day is the 15th, and the overall energy of the day adds up and reduces to the number 3 energy. So with the day being the 15th, the number 1 and 5, so the number 1 is in the individual, the I am energy. The number 1 represents an idea, and then the number 5 represents change. Sudden and unexpected changes for the need of more stimulation, just adventure and curiosity. Similar to the Jupiterian aspect of the day, the Jupiterian energy is like, to me, a magnifying glass. It amplifies and gain higher knowledge when it comes to a thing because it is curious, where the number 5 is also similar, looking for change. It's change itself. And sometimes sudden and unexpected changes feel like, wow, where did that come from? But to me, there's always something leading up to that sudden and unexpected change. And it's just a matter of us, seeing things for what it is. And the number 15th adds up and reduces to the number 6 vibration. And the number 6 vibration is a community type of energy. Like the month of September on a whole, to me, is an energy where a lot of us could find ourselves more busy when it comes to matters having to do with friends or even family. But it's like it brings a whole communion type of energy. It's like let's get together type of vibe. And then the 3 aspect to the day, the number 3 is a creative, childlike, expressive energy. The number 3 energy is very similar to the number 5 energy, even Gemini energy and Sag energy. Like the number 3, the number 5, Gemini and Sag energy are all energies that deals with communication, information. And the number 3 energy to me deals with like us, boredom, the need for more experience, because the number 3, like the number 5 energy, Sagittarius or Gemini energy, it are energies that feels restless, like when it comes to things being routine or mundane, and routine and mundane feels boring. So on Thursday, September 15th, we can find ourselves like seeking more adventure. To me, this day, the energy on this day reminds me of skipping school. Skipping school in the sense that it's like this need for it's like a feeling of boredom with what is, and like the need for something else, to the point where it's like you're willing to do a little bit some risky things in order to make it happen. And when I think about say Jupiterian energy, or even the number 5 energy, Sag energy, Gemini energy, to me the curiosity and the need for more can cause those energies to take risk in a way that others might not. And the moon on this day is in Taurus. So the moon is in a place of pleasure. The moon is in a place where we want to experience the finer things in life, whatever that might mean to each person. And the finer things in life could be like, you know, you want to enjoy like your favorite ice cream, or for some it might be intimacy, you know. And at this time, of course, Mercury is still in retrograde and it is in the sign of Libra, and the moon is positively aspecting Mercury. So the moon is in a place of comfort and, you know, stability. Stability is extremely important on this day. And it's positively aspecting the mind, which is in, so the moon is the inner world and the inner conversation, what's happening within. So the inner conversation is focused on pleasure and stability. And then the mind is in a place of relationships, relating and connecting to others. So the moon and Mercury is making like a nice, basically communicating to each other really nicely, where it's like, let's skip school, let's get together, let's do something fun. It's like that kind of energy. It's like, let's get up for happy hours, let's connect, let's have a conversation. To me, like the energy really encourages that kind of vibe. And the moon is squaring Saturn in Aquarius at the moment. And when I think about Saturn in Aquarius, I think about just restrictions and challenges happening with, like, say, the community, humanity on a whole, where the moon is in a place where it's like, I'm aware of all these things happening, but I just don't want to focus on that right now. It's like that kind of vibe I'm getting from the day. Some could say this is like, you know, selfish vibe, in the sense that, like, say some people who are really passionate about certain things that are happening in the world, and it's like, I can't believe you guys are just sitting around and not caring. And to me, it's not that a person doesn't care. Like, say for me personally, when it came to like creating content, I remember back in 2019, I started having these craziest dreams about human trafficking. And I started seeing it in my dream before I even noticed it in real life. Like, I was so oblivious and lost to it. And I would have the weirdest dreams, and a lot of them would take place in Texas, like the border of Texas. And I remember one dream where it's like there was this brown boy, and it's like he went to see his grandmother, and then after bounty hunters were after him and they collected him, and he was with a bunch of other kids, and somehow, some way, he ended up being free. And at the end of the dream, across like the screen of my mind, the word create resist came across the screen of my mind. And I looked up resist, like, what does that mean? And it's like, I felt like my dream was telling me, like, create resistance, like create. And at that time, I remember asking, what kind of content can I create? You know what I mean? I wanted to add something new to the channel. Like, basically, like, I like change, you know, so you guys will notice that I'm always creating changes here and there. There's like a sense of consistency, but there's a lot of changes happening, and some might spot it. But like, the dream said create resist, and I remember not to, and then I kept having dreams back to back, where it's like dreams of, say, there was one where these two little girls or three kids was in like a government type building, and they were being held there. It's like a situation where they're held to be placed in proper home situations, but at the same time, there were two little girls in a room, and there were two men in suits like watching them from like a double mirror, where they were negotiating, like it's almost like a purchase was being made, and deciding on these two. And I would wake up from these dreams and feel so stressed out, like, why am I having these dreams? And in the same dream, I remember it's like I was the voice in this young boy's ear who was also in the house, and I was telling him to run, and he heard me, where the little girls, they couldn't hear me. You know what I mean? It felt like, you know, sometimes we have an intuition or something is guiding us in a challenging moment. It felt like I was that voice in that dream. And I remember he packed a book bag with like random things in there that was unnecessary, but he ran. And it's like when he ran, he came through a gate that seemed like, you know, like border patrol type thing. And then there was like a bounty hunter hunting him. And I remember he ran, and like he ran to a group of indigenous looking women who kind of surrounded him, protected him, and one of them put a spear through the bounty hunter. It was the weirdest dream ever. But anyways, after that dream, like, you know, the whole lockdown situation happened. That's when I really started hearing about the trafficking thing on the news. Like, I even had, it was so many dreams where it's like, God, why are you showing me these dreams? That's how I felt, because I felt powerless from experiencing them and feeling like I want to help but don't know how to help or what to do about it. And I think that's, and then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, like, you know, a lot of what was happening didn't make sense to me. Like, I just didn't see things in a way that they were being presented. I felt like I wanted to say more. I felt like I wanted to, you know, and I remember sharing something on it and a few things on it, like YouTube ended up taking it down. But then I quickly realized, like, the way how I was creating resist wasn't a way that, like, was good for me, because to dive into certain energy was taking me to a negative place, and it wasn't good for my overall health or energy. And then I realized, like, okay, a good way to create that kind of content is to, like, remind people of their power, remind people of their strength, because when you remember that you are the most powerful person that you know, then you make decisions different, because you're growing and you're learning to trust yourself. And to me, that's the best way, like, to create resist, you know, where a person learns their power, their truth, and then are making decisions from that space, you know. So with the whole dream situation, like, it guided me in that way of creating, and I learned how to respond in a way that fits who I am. You know what I mean? Where there's other people who are whistleblowers and they respond in a way that fits who they are. They're not going out of character to do what they do, because they're the type of people that wants to blow the whistle no matter who's looking, because that's just who they are. Where I found a way that spoke to who I am, a way that fits who I am. So yeah, like, it's important for whenever we're, like, you know, going the path that we go with the one that, like, it's like I've been saying a lot lately, like, you know, what is natural within your ability to respond, you know, and that's where you see your place, your purpose, and your position. But, like, yeah, so the card that's associated with this energy for the day is the Six of Cups in the reversal position. So the Six of Cups in the upright position, you see that there's this person offering some kind of, like, emotional or even romantic gesture to the other person. It could be, and the number 6 is an energy that deals with community, it deals with responsibility, it deals with love. In the reversal position, to me, with this card, this could be, say, someone offering something that appears to be like, it's like someone offering something but not with the best intention. It's like, that's the energy that I get from this card. Yeah, someone offering something but not with the best intention. And I feel like sometimes people could, like, get into a certain mindset and don't even realize that they're operating in that mindset, because fear is what's driving, like, that kind of mindset, that kind of energy. Because when I think of the number 6 energy, it's like, when I think of the number 6 energy and it being community responsibility, the number 6 also deals with pleasure related things, like Taurus energy does. Like, it's a material type energy. And the number 6 energy also deals with, like, you know, sexual experiences and things like that. So to me, when I see that card in the reversal position, depending on the reading per se, like, a lot of different things can come to mind. Say in the reversal position, it could be a situation where a person is pretending to care about someone because they're trying to be intimate with them. You know, that's one way of looking at it. Or to me, what's coming to mind, an extreme situation, especially when I think about the story that I just told about the dreams about the trafficking, I could see, like, a pedophilia type of situation with it in the reversal position. But, like, when I go back to, say, the energy of the day, To me, the energy of the day is one where, you know, we can find ourselves curious and seeking adventure, seeking pleasure. And when it comes to being so curious, seeking adventure, seeking pleasure, and then Mercury in retrograde, bringing people from the past, reconnecting us with old friendships and connections and things like that. And also the other retrograde planets, you know, and it being Jupiter day, and Jupiter is in Aries, dealing with our courage, reflecting on our ability to just take risk and be brave and be bold. It's important for us to always, like, you know, just always check in, like always check in with self. It's like, make it a habit to check in at every moment. Check in and ask, how does this make me feel? How am I feeling in this moment? You know what I mean? And never feel uncomfortable to assert boundaries, like on site, you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I'm having a good time, but wait a minute, nope, I'm not having a good time anymore. Stop. I don't like the way this feels. Like never worry about what anybody will think or anybody will feel, because it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, like, all that is important is that, like, you're being true to you. And it sounds selfish to speak like that, especially with me coming from a space where it's like, you know, as a people-pleasing space, speaking like that sounds selfish to me to a certain extent when I'm observing. But imagine if everyone was true and honest to themselves. You know what I mean? Truthful and honest to themselves, and basically operated from a place of love where they are satisfied, their cup is full, you know what I mean? And then operate from that space. I feel like stuff could, like, be so much different. Like, you know, and I feel like stuff is all about, like, how we're choosing to see things and the world we're living in. Because some people could be like, we're all sharing the same space, but we're all having different experiences of it. So I feel like the experience and our perception of it, I should say, would be so much different based on, like, where we're coming from when it comes to, you know, how we're participating with each other. But yeah, the energy for Thursday was an interesting read. Like, I felt myself, like, it's like, you know, I'm talking about the whole skipping school type vibe, and then I end up sharing the whole trafficking type vibe, and then the card came up in the reversal position. And yeah, I feel like it was an interesting read. And just when it comes to the day, like, at the end of the day, you create your world, you create your reality based on how you choose to see things and how you choose to show up for each day. So when it just comes to interactions and connections, like, yes, we get lost in the moment and we want fun, we want adventure, but at the same time, like I said, just check in with yourself at every step of the way. That's the overall message. Check in with yourself at every step of the way, because, you know, how does this make you feel? Even though we've been conditioned to not look at feelings and not trust feelings, but like I've mentioned in so many videos, most of the times we project onto people and things because they're familiar, and then our imagination tells a story, and then the story that the imagination tells stimulates emotions, and then we think we're feeling this way when the imagination is responsible for that. When we take that out of the way and allow the imagination to read what the heart is saying, then we're able to discern so much better. It's interesting that the same parts that we use to read energy and, you know, discern is the same things that could be used to a certain extent, meaning the mind and the imagination to also deceive us. So it's like we could deceive ourselves, but it often happens whenever we want to see something because something is familiar, and we want to have a certain experience. We want to recreate something that we've seen. So we project onto something and try to relive it back. But I'm gonna wrap today up because, you know, I didn't expect for it to go on this long. But it was such a pleasure sharing this with you as usual. If you would like to book a tarot reading or get your natal chart read, those links are in the description box below. Also, if you'd like to check out Patreon, that link is also in the description box below. If you're still here with me, I would love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.